Ladies and gentlemen, the Senate, I rise to speak for the bill, against the amendment, and issue a caution. On February 28, 2018, when this passed the State House, I was the only member of the State House of Representatives to speak against the bill that authorized these speed cameras in school zones. I rise today to speak for those who think that photo enforcement of speeding is a bad idea, that if there's areas that speeding needs to be enforced, we need to have human officers doing that, because speed cameras themselves, I think, are problematic. I lived in a community when I was overseas in Germany that had photo enforcement everywhere. Now, every mile of road wasn't enforced by speed cameras, but if you think about the roads we have in our communities, the cameras that are at every stoplight, we could conceivably, for a relatively low cost, have speed enforcement of every single mile of road in Georgia. Conceivably. We have the technology to do that. I think computers, speed cameras, locking down and controlling folks is overreached by government. I think it's wrong. I think it's too far. And I think the process that this bill got enacted within 2018 would short-circuit the process. And there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Georgians who think these cameras ought to be removed altogether. I stand here without qualification to speak against the use of these cameras. In school zones, there are oftentimes law enforcement there that are working as crossing guards and they're managing traffic at school times. If there's a need for that, law enforcement can focus their resources there and deliver it without speed cameras. I say that I support the bill because the bill controls this process. It limits what I think is, it's been referred to by those in the vernacular as kind of crack cocaine for governments. There's so much money that can be generated through these things because every single time a person goes 11 miles an hour of the speed limit in the school zone, bam, they're hit. The next person, bam, they're hit. Without context, without looking at if there's real danger created by the person's exceeding the speed limit by 11 miles per hour. So I think Georgians who think photo enforcement of speeding is a bad idea need to have a voice. And I just wanted to rise, Mr. President, to give that voice today. I support the bill. I appreciate the Senator for the 29th, the efforts he's engaged in to kind of rein this in, put some integrity in the process. I do think the bill makes the process way better, and I thank him for that. And I'm going to support the bill today. I would oppose the amendment. I think the amendment lets the purposes for which these dollars are used be too broad. I think limiting them as they were in the Rules Committee substitute is appropriate. Limiting to only traffic enforcement interest, I think, is a good control of something that can get out of control and incentivize governments to do more and more and more of focusing on collection of dollars and not really focusing on keeping kids safe. I think the school zone context is something that was used as a sort of a way to kind of get in. Who here is opposed to safety in school zones? No one. We all want safety in school zones. But many Georgians think enforcing speeding with cameras goes too far. And I just rise today to speak on their behalf. Thank the Senator for the 29th. Urge you to support the bill, oppose the amendment, and let's find a day that we can repeal speed zone cameras altogether in this state. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Senator's yielded.